On today's show, a very special bra emerges from Japan, which means, things are going to get weird.
Some people are trying to teach a robot karate, because that's a good idea.
It's a terrible idea. And we check out the Quadrofoil, an all-electric watercraft that looks like it came straight from the future. Not unlike this car. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Esqueda. Joining me, as always, once again, forevermore, Gail Anonymous.
Forever and ever.
Forever and
we
ever.
are actually stapled to these chairs.
We are.
Yeah, there's an Arduino that's actually keeping us alive.
It's actually an electric fence in the studio that just keeps us in here, powered by Raspberry Pi and Arduino.
Real cheap
Super
setup
cheap.
in here.
Only cost less than $50 to keep us trapped in here. We have, guys, it's a weird day. It's a weird day. We got some weird stories,
always,
so we might as well just jump right in. Let's hit the headlines. Okay, as we always say here on Tomorrow Daily, we love Japan. We love Japan.
Love you, Japan.
And when I saw this story very early this morning, I knew it was going to be on today's show because it is right up our alley. This is called the Close Sisters Bra. And we're going to get a little racy. Here. This is a very special bra. It's from a company called Triumph. And it changes. Look at that.
Wait,
Did you see it change?
Yeah, the cup changes.
Yeah, it changed. The pattern changed.
The pattern of the cup changed. Okay.
Okay,
Why?
so this is the Close Sisters bra, inspired by the movie Frozen, which is apparently why they're wearing these little crystal crowns, and it changes from polka dots to to snowflakes. To blue and white snowflakes.
So it's a themed bra that changes?
Listen, I do not recall. I've seen Frozen. I do not recall a scene in which Elsa and Anna hung around in their undies, but
It's the unrated version, but go on.
this is a Japanese version of Frozen.
Yeah.
So the bras come with matching short skirts with little heart shapes on the hips, and so what's happening is you can see the little heart shapes on the side there. When they bump hips, the bra is made of epaper, the part that changes. It's like an epaper that can transform. So when they bump, it changes. So there you go. It goes back and forth from black and white polka dots to white and blue snowflakes. The saddest part about this story is that I know. If there was a downside to the story, here it is. There is no plan to release these to the general public. There's no plan to make these retail. This was made with Triumph, and they collaborated with this company called Fashion Entertainments in Japan to promote sisterhood and show off the technology, the ePaper technology.
Yay, sisterhood.
All right, sisterhood. I just thought this was so bizarre. Apparently, Fashion Entertainments actually already makes a bow tie out of this e-paper that changes.
That's cool.
Which is really neat. And so that they took it to the next step, which was working with a lingerie company to make like an e-paper bra.
I'm big on the e-paper.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
Very stranged out by the bra element. You bump your sister's hip.
I know, it's just so bizarre. But I really like the concept of like clothes that can change on a whim as you to fit your mood or your style. What
about if we did a couple thing? Like you and your significant other. Your significant other had the bra, and then you had the bow tie.
And then then
in your case, reverse it.
Yeah, of course.
But wouldn't that be great?
That would be cool. That would be really cool. So yeah, it won't be for sale, but I just saw it and thought you guys needed to see that. And honestly, anybody who's only listening to an audio version of this show, please watch, because that was incredible.
It was cute. It was kawaii, you might even say.
Kawaii.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
Okay, so speaking of some weird tech.
I don't know. I was hoping you weren't going to say speaking of adorable, because I'm like, this is not adorable.
This is not adorable.
This is a terrible idea.
This is a robot that knows karate. His name is Atlas, and this is from Boston Dynamics. It's owned by Google.
By Google.
So here we go. It's this 6-foot, 330-pound robot.
Nope.
That can do the crane move like from Karate Kid.
He's balancing on a cinder block with one leg, and the other leg is in the air as if he is doing a crane kick.
And he's moving around, so he's got complete control over his balance. So this is Atlas, of course. This is from the same people that have made Petman and Wildcat and Big Dog
No,
robot.
I don't like any of those.
You don't
They're
like
all
those, yeah.
terrifying. All amazing, but all kind of creepy.
But what's interesting is that this robot was not programmed by Boston Dynamics. It was actually programmed by a institute named the IHMC. So they programmed it to do the karate moves here.
Incredibly horrifying.
Yes.
Master controls.
But I mean, usually this robot is programmed for actual productive things and not to scare the crap
it does
out
a
of us.
thing that is not meant to scare or beat us to death with karate moves.
Right, it's supposed to save people from like disasters and whatnot.
Oh.
Yeah, but in this instance,
I guess it could go places like Fukushima. It could have gone into a nuclear site where humans couldn't go. It'd be too dangerous. So I guess it could do that.
But now we can send it to space to fight aliens with its karate moves.
Well, it's a really good contingency plan. I think that's why companies and labs like Boston Dynamics are like, listen, we have these robots that can help people, but we should probably teach them martial arts because there could be aliens and maybe we can't fight them.
Look, if they had taught it to drink a cup of tea, we wouldn't be reporting on it right now. It knows karate. It knows more deadly moves than I do. No, but I mean, it doesn't know any attacks, it looks like. It just knows how to balance. So it's almost yoga. But,
it's only a matter of time.
But Karate Kid, reboot with the robot is all I'm saying.
It is only a matter of time before we see a headline where Atlas the robot kicks researcher in face, escapes Boston Dynamics facility. That's what I'm waiting for. Kicks researcher right in the face, takes off.
Just train it to help people.
All right, so training it brings it to our hashtag of the day. So our hashtag of the day today, you guys, our question that you are gonna answer is you're gonna use the hashtag TD Karate, but we want to know
confuse your friends.
Confuse your friends. Who would you want to hire, fictional or real? What person would you hire to train a robot, and in what discipline?
So it could be anything, really.
Anything. Mm-hmm. I would hire Cesar Millan to train a robot to walk my dogs.
Oh, all right. I would do, what's that? Alton Brown.
Okay.
And I would just teach you how to cook like everything real weird.
I like it.
You did these macaroni and cheese bars and you make them and then you fry them.
And they're so good.
Come on.
When he did that grilled cheese sandwich actually on the grill.
Oh yeah.
That was the best.
So that's what I'm saying.
Teach a robot to cook food. That's really smart. I like that.
Think about it. And that's that first step into the Wall-E universe where they feed us, we get fat, and then maybe
it's cupcake in a cup all the way.
But it could be fictional people. Like it could
fictional.
be
Morpheus from the Matrix.
It could be Morpheus, or it could be Keanu Reeves from the Matrix. No,
I
was gonna say
from John Wick.
Yeah, from John Wick. Anything.
How to seek revenge on people who murdered your wife.
It'll be great. Yeah, no, there you go.
I like it. All right.
I'm interested to see what people want to train a robot to do.
I'm dying to know. All right, let's talk about the Quadrofoil. This is a very interesting little bit of kit. So usually if you've ever ridden a jet ski or some other kind of watercraft, they're pretty loud.
Yeah,
they have motors in them. They're run by gas. You put gas in them. That can be really expensive. So not anymore, because the Quadrofoil is here to change that. This is the Quadrofoil. It's a hydrofoiling personal craft that runs entirely on electric power.
Nice.
Fully electric, so those are the foils. They look like little legs. They actually act as lift for the craft. So once it hits 7 miles per hour, it rises up out of the water.
Wow, that looks creepy.
Kind of amazing. It looks like a giant spider floating through the ocean.
Yeah, it's not touching the surface of the water very much.
So because it's electric, it's very, very quiet. It releases 0 emissions, which is great because there's no oil getting leaked into the water. There's no chance of, if you have a crash, it's not gonna, spill a bunch of fuel everywhere. But for me, it looks like one of two things: either a sea-doo for rich snobs who hit country clubs way too often.
Because this couple looks
Well, this
so
couple
rich.
Looks like country club, like they should have cardigans, and they're like, haha, Buffy, like, oh, I'm gonna have a highball once I get off my Quadrofoil. Like, that's
Ooh, I dropped my gold watch. That's okay. I keep another in my pocket.
Oh, exactly. Oh, my 24-karat gold Rolex went into the ocean. Oh, well, I have another one on my left arm. Like, that's what it looks like. Or it looks like an alien spacecraft that is meant to actually cruise the lakes of Europa, which is I thought that was pretty cool.
So is this thing shockingly light as well? Is that what we're looking at here?
So the cool thing about this is the creators say it's unsinkable. They claim it is unsinkable.
Oh, that's always worked out well.
Titanic, I'm sure it worked out really well for them. But because the craft has a hollow hull. So there's an engine in there, but it's, for the most part, the hull is hollow, so it's very difficult to sink. And it seats 2 people, as you can see in the video. It tops out at 25 miles per hour and has a range of about 54 nautical miles. So it's got a good range, and it takes 2 hours to charge fully. So not long at all.
Only 2 hours?
Yeah, a couple hours. You can pre-order it. So are you ready? You ready to get out your wallet? You ready to get out your gold Rolex, sell it, hawk it, buy one of these Quadrofoils? All right. I like that you have a Velcro wallet.
I hate that I have a Velcro watch. Continue.
You're such an adult. Okay, so if you want the lower-powered Q2A model, that's going to cost you $18,650. But you know what? If you have a little extra cash in there, you can get the limited edition Q2S, which has a larger motor, and that will set you back $27,980.
How much does a normal boat cost?
Probably, well, it depends on the size of the boat. But you do get, you get some extras. You get the Quadrofoil, you get 2 life jackets, and you get a paddle in case you run out of power. And you also get a safety whistle. So if you want to recreate Titanic where she's hanging on to a board or something and he blows the whistle to get the ship to come rescue her, you could do that.
Okay, so it doesn't sound that expensive, but it also sounds like it might be cheaper to just get a boat.
I just, you know what my recommendation is? Don't ever buy a boat and just rent one whenever you want it. Because most people, unless you're going to live on the boat. Yeah. My dad has a boat, and it's just a money pit. Yeah, you just keep putting money into it. It's ridiculous.
All right, scary spider boat.
Yeah, scary spider boat, Quadrofoil. Pretty cool, though. I mean, I saw it. It looked really neat. Yeah. I would like for them to get cheaper in price. And then maybe I would consider getting one.
Maybe not $30,000.
Yeah, $30,000. Maybe the cost of my student loans. Maybe not that. So, all right. Well, on that note, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds with new releases, and there are so many good ones this week. And, of course, your user feedback and our phone togger for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Hey friends, we're back. I know, you pointed, that's so nice.
And I pantomimed.
You're like, you.
Anybody listening is like, Kale's really not adding a lot today.
No, Kale really is just not, he's not into it today. All right, you guys, it is Tuesday, which means we are gonna jump into all the cool new stuff that you should be checking out. So this is new releases. I feel like we actually might have to do 2 new releases every week because there's so much good stuff leading up.
So much today.
Leading up to the holidays, it's going to be an avalanche of amazing games.
But that's good.
Just
Write
everything.
this stuff down
right,
so that when Black Friday happens,
you have your shopping list ready.
You can be the best American you can be by buying all of them.
Buying all the things. Yeah. So our very first new release is, of course, Assassin's Creed Unity, out today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Oh, PC.
PC. So this is, well, that's what I saw on Ubisoft. So hopefully PC today. I've heard that it's not getting great reviews. Not 100% great.
It's that every other one gets great reviews, though.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you're looking for multiplayer, I mean, this is the Assassin's Creed for you. If you've always wanted multiplayer, this is the one you want to get because this is the only one with it.
Not to extend this part, but like, how can they get it wrong? They've been kind of just adding things and not really subtracting things.
Yeah, I mean, like the reviews that I've seen thus far have been like, well, and producer Logan and I were discussing it too right before the show. What we've kind of seen is that people are saying, well, you have to communicate with your teammates like vocally, like, which I don't care for if you're playing with strangers. Because you know how that always ends, you guys. And then the other part of it is that the single-player game wasn't really, like, it was just kind of like there. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, well, it's another Assassin's Creed game. So, but the thing is there are diehard fans of the series who I'm sure will love it. So there you go. And then also today.
But speaking of multiplayer.
Speaking of multiplayer, the one that you could argue started it all.
Yes.
Halo Master Chief Collection is available for Xbox One today.
$60 for all the Halos.
For every Halo that you've ever played, including online, remastered in 1080p.
100 maps for multiplayer. It's got Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4. It also, I think, has the TV series on it, Nightfall. This 5 episodes,
crazy.
Nightfall. And then I think it has access for the alpha for Halo 5 Guardians?
I believe so.
Somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, please correct Kale if he's wrong. And also, the one thing that I have been hearing about that is that matchmaking is broken right now.
Yay!
So
we did it.
Apparently very popular, Halo Master Chief Collection. But that's good. That means people still love Halo, which is so cool. I mean, that was really the game that broke open. I would say that and maybe GoldenEye for the 64. Broke open multiplayer console, like FPS.
I think it was Halo that was the online one, the one
that was the big one where it was online, and then but I would say like console FPS, like GoldenEye would be the first of like that I can think of where I was like, oh my god, like this is changing everything.
Halo's one of the smartest shooters, for sure.
It's really great. Give me my needler.
Yeah, you're a needler person?
No, everybody hates the needler. Let's be real here. Everybody hates the needler. It's the worst.
But there you go, $60, very, very,
$60,
very
so
cool.
reasonable.
And if you have a friend or a family member that likes video games, they probably want this if they don't already have it. So.
If they have an Xbox One. And then also today, which I thought was super cool, is if you have ever loved Batman, the Batman 1966 television series is available now on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
This is an unbelievable remaster, okay? Like, look at how beautiful the remaster is of this show. So they remastered everything.
Oh, wow.
It's gorgeous. Like, it is so beautiful compared to what we used to see on TV. And so look at how crisp everything is.
There was only 120 episodes?
Yeah. Fully remastered, Blu-ray, all the things. There's some really great special features. They have like I think it's like a sit-down talk with Adam West, where it's Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith sit down and talk to Adam West. There's like a round table kind of discussion with and others. But it's really, really cool, and it's available. I want to say on Amazon. I want to say it was pre-ordering for like $170. But it's like a box set, like it's a full box set of a whole series. So I would imagine that's not too unreasonable. There's a lot of extras, and for people who are really big fans of that series, and there are many, it's a good deal. Think about how much people spend on like the box set for Friends.
But the entire series?
Yeah, the entire series.
How many episodes is that?
Well, it's like 10 seasons, 22 episodes a season.
Oh, there we go. He pulled it up. Logan pulled it up. How much does it say?
$175.
Yeah.
Free shipping.
That still would be a lot of fun for over a weekend to hang out with friends and watch Batman.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's really fun to have. It's cool. You can throw it on during like a party or something. It's always entertaining to just have on the screen. So
that'd be like a good gift for my dad. My dad would probably really dig that.
Yes. And also, just...
Too bad he's getting a tie again this year.
You're going to get an e-paper bow tie.
Oh, yeah.
Kale's dad.
And I'm going to get my stepmom a bra.
Perfect. And then that won't be awkward at all. Also, we are, just because we don't have video of this, but Foo Fighters' Sonic Highways dropped yesterday. So if you're into Foo Fighters, their new album is out, which is
producer Logan's
pretty great.
The head musician of our crew. He likes it?
Yeah, Mr. Musician. Well, he doesn't want to listen to the whole thing until he watches the documentary series on HBO.
I can't tell if that makes him a good music fan or not.
He's like maybe a little bit of a music snob, but in a really good way.
Oh, okay.
He always gives us good recommendations.
Yeah, he does.
So,
Knife Party, he told me to listen to Knife Party's new album. And
Knife Party.
It.
High fives for Knife Party. On that note, it's time for user feedback. Speaking of knife parties, really jumping around and stabbing people.
All you do is just say, speaking of,
and
then whatever the last thing
No, it always
we
is
said.
that. There's something endearing and charming about it to me, especially when it has nothing to do with what you're about to say. That's the best part. So first of all, I just want to really briefly say thank you to Attack Beast, who yesterday wanted to beam us as holograms into his living room so that he could have Tomorrow Daily in his living room. He actually we gave him an opportunity to Photoshop himself into the show, which he did, and thank you very much for that. And it just makes me laugh every time I see it. It's great.
Oh my God!
He says, "Here's my hologram of me and you guys on the show. LOL. Happy Veterans Day, and also Happy Veterans Day to anybody out there who has, will, or is serving in the military." Thank you for being better people than we are.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Stepmom. Thanks, Stepdad. Thanks, Stepsister.
I know. I'm like
five.
Grandpa, great grandpa.
Oh yeah, my grandpa.
I mean, there's a lot of service history in my family as well. Okay, so moving on to our tweets. We asked you guys yesterday to use the hashtag TDNet to ask us your net neutrality questions or to ask or to make comments about it. So
okay.
Matt wrote to us and said, I think net neutrality is a great thing. Internet needs to be the same for everyone. That's just my opinions.
Right. Yep.
We agree.
There shouldn't be any roadblocks in communication and information.
I agree. So here's an interesting question. Most of these other three are questions. So Jay wrote to us and said, why did net neutrality become an issue? And that is a really good question. So basically back in the 90s, we passed the Telecommunications Act, which required the FCC to treat ISPs like common carriers, which meant that there couldn't be discrimination of content or going to or from your computer. So it was basically right at the beginning kind of when the internet started picking up steam with the general public. They were like, okay, listen, it's common carrier. At one point then, after that, some folks in the government, people who are now lobbyists and all this other great stuff, decided to change that and reclassify broadband as an information service. So that now, that sort of regulation of you can't discriminate does not apply to information services. So it stops the FCC from being able to stop ISPs from discriminating against specific types of content. So this reclassification is really what's at the heart of the issue. So
when was this reclassification? When did that happen?
I want to say it happened in the 2000s, like during when Bush was president.
Okay.
I think. So this reclassification is sort of the problem because a lot of people think that we should go back to classifying the internet as a telecommunications service, which would let the FCC disallow any type of traffic discrimination. Okay, so that's what we mean when we say that we would reclassify it as like under Title II, which would reclassify it as sort of a public utility. And we used to, so when we had phones, just landline phones and telegraphs and stuff, we used phone lines to access the internet for dial-up.
Right.
So we used phone lines to contact each other. It was our main means of information, which means that we could not discriminate against content going across that data or across that pipe. I'm going to call it a pipe. Okay, so now because the internet is our source of information, some people get their television from an internet loop. Some people have all of their internet from that. Some people have their phone lines set up to run off of their internet. They have voice over IP. So why would we not, the argument is, why would we not reclassify it as a public utility? Because it is used very much in the same way that phone lines were back before we had the internet. So that's why it's important and why it happened. So there you go. It's sort of a weird, like, I feel like it's important for people to understand why and what's going on and stuff. But that's why. So there you go. So like the big argument is that, let's say like Comcast says, well, I don't want you to use Google anymore because we don't like Google.
Yep.
So on the oatmeal, they have this great cartoon about what net neutrality is. And he explains it this way. So Comcast decides we're going to have our own search engine. And to go to Google, either Google has to pay a bunch of money, or maybe you get slower internet if you want to go use Google. Or they basically try everything they can to discourage you from using the sites that they don't want you to use. So that is not a very good thing.
So bad.
So, and no one's
so
saying,
bad.
and here's the thing, no one's saying that's happening right now, but it could. And
yeah,
the other thing
little
is
by
that
little too.
It is kind of happening because we saw Comcast very publicly throttling Netflix and saying, no, during these negotiations, you need to pay more for all the bandwidth you're using.
Wasn't Verizon doing something like that too?
They were too. And as soon as Netflix paid, suddenly, miraculously, their download speeds went way up. So you can find these charts online. And
so they're basically like the mob. They're like the mafia.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of strong arming, and it's not good for anybody who loves a free and open internet.
Which is you.
Yeah. So read.
Not Ashley, but
right.
I mean, yes,
Which is
Ashley.
everybody. It's all of us. It's me. It's you. It's everybody listening and watching. So
we're just scared of it slowly happening, because it's
right.
slowly happening. It can go under the radar, but as long as we're like, hey, we need to keep aware of this, then we can, like, the net neutrality thing needs to be a big noise right now.
All
so
the
that
time.
We're like, so that we got our eye on it, and it's good that Obama said it so that we can have.
It's a refresh. It's a refresh.
So everybody can hear it. So
right, and it very much is that whole concept of if you put it, it's like an old adage. If you put a frog in hot water, the frog immediately jumps out. In boiling water, frog jumps out. If you put it in cold water and slowly bring it to a boil, a frog won't jump out. It'll just sit there and die. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to do that with the internet. We have to be vigilant about what's going on here. So we'll see how it works.
We need Google Fiber like now.
Everybody needs Google Fiber.
We need Google Fiber. What is it? 1 terabyte down?
It's crazy.
It's just like,
we have really slow high-speed internet compared to a lot of places in the world. South Korea is insane.
What's theirs?
It's like cell phones have like 150 down. I mean, it's nuts. Like their infrastructure is a madness, but it's also a lot smaller than the U.S. So it's much harder to build out an infrastructure here than it is in a smaller country.
Yeah,
obviously.
mine is like 12 down. It's not cool.
Not so great.
I'm still loading a picture of a fish that I was looking at earlier.
I have 75/75. I'm quantum Fios, but
Whoa!
But I average like 60 down, 60.
That's why you're good at Mario Kart, because you beat everybody because you got a better internet connection.
No, I'm just better than you. Just better than you.
Fair enough.
All right, our very last piece of user feedback, as always, is our photographer of the day. This photographer of the day we're going to have problems with. I'm going to tell you right now. Here's why. Dear Tomorrow Daily crew, my name is Connor C., and I'm an avid 14, probably 15-year-old photographer. I took this photo whilst on a day trip to London with my new iPad Air 2.
Why did you do that?
The photo is of London's iconic Tower Bridge with the sun setting behind dense clouds in the peripheral of the image. There was no post-editing or photoshopping, just plain old HDR. I hope you like it enough to be featured on your amazing show, Connor. Whilst I know that the iPad is not a phone, I still hope that it qualifies. I will allow it.
I will not appreciate it as much.
It's a really nice picture, though.
It's a fantastic picture.
It's beautiful, but all I can see, here's what I see.
I know
Connor.
you see it. You see him doing it.
This is what I see. This is what I see
Okay,
when I see that picture. I see this.
Yep. The instant someone said
That's
I took
what
this
I
with my
see.
iPad.
Somebody taking a
No,
picture with
you're
a
not even
giant
doing it right. You're
iPad.
not even doing it right. This is it.
That's exactly right. I am looking through that picture, and all I can see is you taking it. That's all I can see.
But I will say that I am impressed with the actual photo.
No, it's a great picture. It's gorgeous.
It looks really nice.
Look at the color in the sky. I mean, it's really beautiful. Obviously, I mean, listen, I'm not about taking pictures with tablets because it makes me enraged. But I will say that the iPad 2's camera looks really good.
Yeah. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
The iPad Air 2, I'm sorry.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, well, he probably could size up the picture's actual scope better because he was doing it on an iPad.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get artsy. Let's talk about it. Connor.
I'm on your side, Connor.
Kill just called you out. That was a really nice picture of the Tower Bridge, though. It's really nice. And it's really such a great spot in London.
I like that he knew we were going to have a little bit of a problem.
He's like, I already know.
That's the only reason why we were so up in arms.
I know, it's so great. So that was our photographer of the day. If you guys want to submit your photography or you want to tell us what you would be teaching your robot and who would be teaching it to them, you can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. If you absolutely hate using email and you want to find us on social media, we're Tomorrow Daily on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tomorrow Daily TV on Google+.
While we're available on multiple things, YouTubers, make your voices heard by subscribing so that you can keep getting this and leaving comments. We read those too. And you can add us on our RSS feed and iTunes. There's a lot of listeners. Hello, listeners.
Hello, listeners.
Look out for that car.
Yeah.
So
keep your eyes on the road.
Keep your eyes on the road too. Yeah. So many different places.
Stop texting.
Our own personal Twitters.
Ashley Scala on Twitter and pretty much everywhere on the internet.
And Kill Anonymous on Twitter and pretty much everywhere else on the internet.
You stole my phrase.
I could said it backwards.
All right, that is it for the show, you guys. We're going to jump in this tiny DeLorean and we are going to be off into the future. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new show filled with weird, wacky, wonderful technology and geek news. But until then, be good humans, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.